Good Sunday morning to everybody listening today. Sunday, June 27, 2010. Tropical update. We continue to watch Tropical Storm Alex move across the Yucatan this morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. It was located at 18.4 north, 89.1 west. It's located about 110 miles south-southeast of Campeche, Mexico. 1,000 millibars on the pressure. Movement west-northwest at 12. You can see still structurally intact, looking very good. Even was a little bit of an eye feature that was seen here to the on radar to the west of Belize. But you could see the core is still intact, looking good. Took that nice west-northwest motion, which is going to get it over the water a little quicker. So this should be out back into the southern Gulf of Mexico this afternoon, and we'll start to see this to regenerate. Could get down to a depression before it gets out here, then back to a tropical storm, and we probably will see our first hurricane by tomorrow in the southern Gulf of Mexico. I wanted to put up the water vapor here to kind of give you the larger picture here and what's going to happen, and I'll talk about a couple of what couple of the models are doing right now. So here we have it. We have Tropical Storm Alex here. You could see just coming into the picture here. Nice outflow here. Just like I said, very well developed system, and this is why it's going to strengthen back into a hurricane once it gets into the back into the southern Gulf of Mexico there. We can see high pressure here, anchored here. Nice big high pressure. This is what's been keeping this on a west-northwest movement. So what we're going to see here is you see this trough starting to dig down in here, east of Hudson Bay. This is this trough here. This is all going to start digging south. We're going to see this trough digging south here. And a little bit of a pretty potent trough, really, for the end of June, to be honest with you. That's why it's been a little hesitant on really, when we start to see some of the models try to bring this north, we're like, hey, this high's been pretty strong. Basically, most of this early summer, and wow, a trough's really going to be this progressive this late in as summer's here. So that gives us a little hesitation when we see these models start bringing this system north. But what we have here is the GFS model and the Canadian model have now started to take this system right up into this area. It's been now the last couple model runs have taken it right, near the Texas-Louisiana border. What's going to happen is ridge going to break down and weaken a little bit. Trough comes down here. As this happens, steering currents are going to get weak as this transition begins. So we're going to have a slowdown here in the southern Gulf of Mexico with Alex. If this slowdown occurs and it moves a little more north with the slowdown, we could have a major hurricane on our hands. If it doesn't catch that weakness, moves a little farther west, it's not going to have as much time over the waters and the warmer waters, and then maybe just a Category 1, possibly a Category 2 hurricane moving into Mexico here. Those are the scenarios. I mean, we have the less progressive Euro, no gaps. Now the GFDL has decided, hey, I'm going to come west again. Almost ready to discount that model with its flip-flopping. HWRF, UK Met, they're all this way. All this. And the Euro's been consistent. I mean, it hasn't budged from this with this west motion. But, the Canadian model's been a good model the last season. And, never could discount that. And it's starting to be consistent with this north move. Going to have to wait for another model run or two. National Hurricane Center's not jumping on this just yet. I don't blame them. Really can't jump. We just had the one big 0Z model runs. So we got to wait for 12Z to come out and get a better view of that. I think if it's still showing north at 12Z, they might budge this up a little farther north the track. Again, we got to wait till it really gets out into the southern Gulf of Mexico. But again, Texas is still not out of the gun with this one just yet. A quick overview of the current steering layer here, and you can see west-northwest. Trough going to start to dig down here. Ridge weakens a bit. Could move this a little farther north, or does it stay more on this path? Does it not catch this weakness and just kind of continue more along this way? So that's what we're going to be watching here to really see what happens in the next couple days. Again, no problems with shear right now. 5 knots or less right over our system. This upper high is just going to move right along with Alex as it moves into the southern Gulf of Mexico. We'll definitely see our first hurricane of the season by tomorrow. And like I said, possibly a major hurricane. Right now, you know, intensity forecasting is tough. I would give it anywhere from a Cat 1 to a Cat 3 in the southern Gulf of Mexico. Quickly going to go through some of the models. 6Z early run models. These are a lot of those early run models, not the global models. Again, a lot of them more west than north. This has been the trend, basically, especially with the early run models. A lot of them bringing it west. So that's the trend at 6Z here. This was the 0Z GFS ensemble models. All the GFS models all put into one. Just wanted to show you how they have it basically heading towards Texas. Really grouped in Texas. Nothing hitting Mexico at all with the GFS. Everything from Texas to western Louisiana. This was the 0Z. Alright, quickly going through some of the models. Canadian model at 0Z. This is what the National Hurricane Center was talking about. And you could see it just slowly taking its time. Like I said, pressure, it's going to get a little weak here as the trough retreats a little bit and high. You know, we're going to get a little weak steering currents in here, and then boom, slowly moves up as a major hurricane into eastern Texas. Texas-Louisiana border. This was GFS model doing the same thing as the Canadian, almost mirror images of them, as you could see as it moves slowly here and then up towards the Louisiana-Texas border. Just thought we could put that flip-flopping GFDL model on here. This was 6Z. Again, I'm not too keen on 6 and 18Z, but figured I'd show you again. Now the GFDL decides, okay, I'm going to go west again with the rest of the models. So another change there. And again, not as strong. Like I said, it's going to be stronger if it slows down and moves more north like this. That's major hurricane. You know, there's not as much time if it moves more west. So probably just a Category 1, maybe Category 2. I'm thinking if it slows down and moves this way north, we're looking at a major hurricane. And again, tropical heat potential here in the Gulf of Mexico. And this is what I'm showing. If slows down and stays right up in this area as it slows down with low shear, pretty good heat content in here, major hurricane. If it moves more like this and a little quicker, yeah, it'll get over that, but it's going to move a little faster into Mexico here. There's not as much time in this area. Then you're looking at probably a Category 1 hurricane, maybe Category 2. But again, slows down and decides to move a little north, major hurricane. That's why for Texas, we still have to be on our toes. Keep watching this. You're not out of the woods yet. And just showing that Texas is not out of the woods. You can see the wide cone of uncertainty here. And this is also due to the storm slowing down, and still, look how big that is. I mean, right now, the National Hurricane Center is saying 5 days out. It could hit anywhere from South Texas to all the way down here to Mexico, the uncertainty. I believe if we see 12Z models come in, probably the 5 o'clock advisory later this evening, if some of them are still going north, we might see this push up maybe closer to you know, Corpus Christi. Well, it's close to Corpus Christi now, but up maybe closer to Houston, the cone. They might push it a little north like that. But still, I'm still believing all of Texas is still in play. More likely southern Texas would get the hit right now is my thinking. I'm still not going to totally bite on this thing going all the way north. Possibility is still there, but I'm still about, I'd say today, 70-30. I still say 70% northern Mexico, and I'll boost it up to 30% for central and southern Texas right now. So that's where I'm at there on landfall possibilities. Again, if you live in Texas, keep watching this storm. You're not out of the woods yet. You gotta be aware of this. As far as the oil, looks like we're still out of it. They're gonna get some swells with this, but so far so good for the oil region up in here. So thank you again, and I'll try to have another update for you guys later this evening. Have a good day.